What is up, YouTube? Ruben here, and today I'm going to show you, yes, another computer that, well, laptop rather. Now, this is the Dell Latitude D630. I actually have another one, but the other one had a busted power jack. This one is actually fully functional. So now I can do a review on this one. So let's talk about the design history of the D630 and other models that they had. So it started off with the D600, which would look like this. Then the D610 used the same design, which is the one you're looking at. And the D620 started off with this design, only with a few ports that are changed. And the D630, which is this one, of course, had the same design, but the ports haven't changed. So let's go ahead and talk about the D630. Now, like I stated in the E5400 video, which is actually inside the bag right now, I managed to go to Junkyard, of course, and got this. Now I have another laptop that I got, but that one, sadly, I'm not going to be able to make a review on because the power jack came off. And if you don't know what that one is, it's the Gateway Solo 5300. So yeah. Well, going back to the D630, they made some good improvements. Now there are two models of this, the D630 and the D630C. Now the D630C is actually the same as the D630, except it only adds the Intel AMT technology. So there you go. Also, the D630 had two options for graphics cards. The one I have here, the Intel model, which has Intel 965 graphics, aka the X3100, or there were two models for NVIDIA. The NVIDIA Quadro NVS 135M, or I think it's a 240M or something like that. But I'll put in, let's say the 135M is the most common, okay? But the 130, okay, the NVIDIA models are defective. The Intel models are actually very good. So that's why I have the Intel model. Now the NVIDIA models can support Windows 10, but except, again, it's defective. So yeah, now let's go to the ports. So on the front, you might see the speakers. You can barely see them, but there is one right here. Focus down here. And of course the battery and the latch. Now on the left, let me turn on the flashlight. We got the DVD-RW drive, CD-RW DVD-ROM, two USB 2.0 ports. On the back, you will see Ethernet 56K modem, two more USB 2.0 ports, so that's a total of four. Serial, parallel, VGA, and the vent. Now on the right, we got the Kensington lock. Right here is the microphone and headphone jacks. Firewire. That's actually the Wi-Fi switch and catcher. What you can do, if you can just slide it in, it'll detect any Wi-Fi connections, which is actually very good for a laptop like this. The Inspiron 1521 that I have also has that feature. And of course, you see the PCM CIA slot and the hard drive caddy. Now let's go to the top. So on the top, of course, you see the Dell logo, and the indicators are right here. We got power, hard drive, battery, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. Now let's go inside the laptop. Actually, before I do that, let's go down to the bottom, which right here you can see the docking port, another vent right here, and right here is where the memory is located, the RAM, and that's DDR2, and right here is Windows XP Professional, Service Pack, well, the product key, you can take it, I don't need that. And right here we got the battery, which actually does have the indicators. And of course, strike zone, and those two screws right here and right there to take the hard drive out. Now let's go to the inside. Now on the inside we got the 14.1 inch screen, and this is a matte finish display. And right here is the Dell Latitude D630 designation. Keyboard indicators, that's your infrared port right there. It's integrated right on this display. Dell logo, of course. Volume buttons, that's volume down, volume up, and mute. And here's your power button. Microphone is right here. The home key got snapped off while trying to open this thing. And here's the gap to where you can insert a flathead screwdriver. Here's the keyboard. There's a track point right here. It's the blue track point. The clicky buttons are right here for the track point. And right here is the touchpad, the clicky buttons, and your stickers. The Intel Centrino and Windows XP stickers. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And why is it not focusing? Okay, there you go. So now let's get to the specs. So the specs, it has the Intel Core 2 Duo T7100 running at 1.8 gigahertz, 2 gigs of RAM. It's DDR2 running at, I think it's 333 megahertz. So yeah, it can support up to 4 gigs of RAM. You can unofficially support up to 8 gigs of RAM, but you have to update the BIOS in order to support up to 8 gigs of RAM. And it also has a 80 gig SATA-II hard drive, which is actually quite nice considering that this is a 2007 model. And it also has Windows XP Professional Service Pack 3. So yeah, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and boot it up, so I'll be back. Okay, so I'm booted into Windows XP, so let's go ahead and right click my computer and hit Properties. So, it's running Windows XP Professional, Service Pack 3, like I said. And of course, D630. I added the OEM info. Like I said, Intel Core 2 Duo T7100 running at 1.8 gigahertz. It does have physical address extension, which means it can support up to 4 gigs or more. Which officially supports up to 4 gigabytes of RAM. It is showing 1.99 gigabytes because it has to use some memory for the graphics. Okay. Now let's check the graphics, because some of you are going to ask how much RAM it has. Now the adapter is the Intel 965 Express. The adapter string being that mobile Intel GMA X3100, and it has 384 megabytes of graphics. So not bad for 720p video, so you can actually run 720p on this. And now let's go ahead and run some programs. Well, first of all, I need to go to Control Panel and go to Add or Remove Programs. Now the programs that I have installed, so I got 7-Zip, Adobe Reader XI, C Cleaner, CPU-Z, Defraggler, Google Chrome, iTunes, Microsoft .NET Framework 2.0 Service Pack 2, Office. I can't even say it. Yes, I did install Office 2000 Professional because why not? Firefox 52.3.0 ESR, QuickTime, Real Player, Specky. Yes, I did install GPU-Z from Hiram's Boot CD, VLC Media Player, WinRAR, and WizTree. So yeah, I have quite a few programs installed. So yeah, let's open up Firefox. Just to be sure, I'll open up a few programs for the time being. Here it is, Firefox 52.3.0. Next is Google Chrome. Here it is, that's Google Chrome. That's version 47, which sadly is no longer. Well, actually, version I think is 49. It's the last one to support Windows XP and Vista. Let's run Specky. Add some more info right here. So yeah, it's that Specky. Let's go to VLC Media Player. Yeah, there you go. VLC Media Player. Pretty much most of the programs actually open very quickly, despite a clean install of Windows. Let's go to Adobe Reader XI right there. Yeah, that's Adobe Reader XI or 11. And some of you are asking for words, so let's do that. And let's type in hello. Yeah, good times. Okay, we're gonna highlight it. We're gonna set it to 72. We're gonna bold it, italicize it, and underline it. So yeah, there you go. Hello. Yeah, how many of you guys remember this? No strike through though. So yeah, I'm not gonna open Excel or PowerPoint. Real Player, we're not gonna do that. Okay, let's open up GPU-Z. It has some more info on the graphics. So yeah. Now on the graphics, it's the GM965, 90 nanometer. And of course, it's DDR2 on the graphics. And you can read this yourself. GPU clock at 500 megahertz. So yeah. So let's close GPU-Z. Now let's go to CPU-Z. So like I said, it's an Intel Core 2 Duo T7100 based on the Miram code name. Now the motherboard, of course, Dell Inc. Memory is 2 gigabytes, running at 333 megahertz. And this is PC2-5300, so that would have been 667, and they're both Hyundai Electronics. So yeah, graphics you already know, and now let's benchmark the CPU. So yeah, like I said, it's a dual core. Yeah, 2 cores and 2 threads. It does have virtualization, which is kind of expected because, you know, it's a 64-bit processor. So yeah, there you go. And as you can see, pretty much the numbers are almost the same, except the single thread is at 69 and the multi-thread is at 71. Which you might think this is actually a single core, which is not. So there you go. see what else. Yeah, you know what? Let's run iTunes. Since I decided to run iTunes on this one. Yeah, here you go. iTunes. Who remembers this? Because Apple actually made iTunes for Windows up until I think it's 2016. They do have a 2019 version, but only on the Microsoft Store, and it's only available for Windows 10. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. So there you go. Of course, the battery's charging. So yeah, there you go. Anything else before I go ahead and do the conclusion? I guess I could run IE6. I guess set to work offline, which is why it's giving me that dialog box. As you can see, Microsoft Internet Explorer 6.0. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. A few programs missed, but there you go. Actually, let's do one more. Actually, let's do two more. WinRAR and 7-zip. Let's start out with 7-zip. There you go, 7-zip. And now the last one, which is WinRAR, which is right here. So yeah, here it is, WinRAR. So yeah, there you go. Well, let's get to the conclusion. So, in conclusion, is it worth it? You might say yes, because, like I said, you can go up to Windows 10 if you have the NVIDIA model. For the Intel model, I would also say yes, because you can go up to 4 gigs of RAM. Not just that, you can also run up to Windows 7 on this one because of the Intel 965 graphics that this unit has. So yeah. Also, the design is quite nice. It's much sturdier than my D520 right here, which I'll have a link for it in the video description. So yeah, there you go. Also, it is nice to have excuse the dog right there. It's nice to have that design like much sturdier than any other laptop. Especially the Inspirons right there. It's much more better than the other ones. The D500 series are not that sturdy, but rather than plastic. But rather use plastic for the time being. So yeah. So the D630 is quite, well, whatever you say. If you want a D630, there's a few people already on YouTube relating to the D630. So yeah. Also, there is an option for a pad right here that would be included with the battery that will stick out. It is I think it's a 9-cell battery. So yeah. Which includes a built-in palm rest, which is quite expected. So yeah, there you go. Well, that's pretty much it for the conclusion. So thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button, and also follow me on Twitter at RibbonUpWithECO17. You can also follow me on Instagram at RibbonTheTransitFan, or if you want to see some transit content, you can follow me on Ribbon's Transit Hub. I already finished pretty much most of the selected metro routes I've selected. Last one being the 602 from nearby UCLA to Pacific Palisades. And that video is scheduled to come out, well, at the time of filming, that's gonna come out on, well, you guessed it, February 5th. Or actually, no. It was February 2nd? I have the list somewhere. Yeah, I have the list somewhere. So, yeah. I need to remember the date, though. So, yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video now, so I'll see you next time.